If I have to start this video again, I quit. I promise you this time. I promise you. I know I say it a lot, but trust me. Okay, first of all, before we even start this video, I want you to guys to this time acknowledge my talking cameraman. All right. The last video I didn't have a talking cameraman, but now she's back. Okay. Yeah, man. Like if I make this video again, if I start over, I quit, man. I ain't making no videos today. All right. Uh-huh. Okay, so basically, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about me, my background, and how did I came to be, right? How did how did how did I come to like start making content and stuff like this? Because this wasn't the plan. Like to be honest, like making content wasn't the plan. All right, like ever since I was back on the island, right? And keep in mind, this is the dream that almost all the island people have. Like they all wanna leave the island, come to a bigger state like the United States, a bigger country with bigger currency, right? Start a business, get a lot of cash flow, and then go back, right? And and that was actually my dream too, and it's still my dream in the sense that I want to come over here and like become a millionaire and go back, open businesses for me and my people back in the islands, right? Where they can have jobs and so forth. Yeah, us talking cameraman. She's back. We can't get rid of the talking cameraman, bro. Oh God, we can't get rid of the talking cameraman. She's back. She's the only one. No one like her. Anyway, yeah. So my thing is, I come here to the United States just like everyone else from the islands, actually, right? To get rich and go back and open a lot of businesses, like to create generational wealth. You know what I mean? That's the goal because we know how hard it is on the island, right? But this is where everything kind of gets sidetracked, right? Because a lot of people are not dedicated to that dream. As soon as they come to the US, they realize how hard it was in the third world country and how accessible the things that was so hard to get is easier to get over here. So when it comes so easy for them, they delay they derail from the goal that they have before, right? Because they come over here saying, you know what, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna start a business, but it's not everyone can tug it out. You get what I'm saying? Like, so as soon as they come and they're like, yo, bro, I remember, man, like when I come over here, bro, and my dad, like the second night I was here, my dad brought me to Publix, man, and bought me like a box of Publix chicken, and it was like, that's all for you, man. I was like, so much chicken for me? I'm like, yo, this was crazy, right? Because back at home, when I get like a box of chicken, it's like two pieces of chicken or stuff like that, and you have to save to get that. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I would have to actually save to get that, right? So it was actually a sacrifice. You get what I'm saying? And even if I do get it, yeah, you're right. You have to like share it between your siblings or so forth, right? So, yo, so even if you do get it for yourself, it's like it must be a special day for you. You get what I'm saying? So when I when I see this, I realize how easy it is to get like derailed from your ambitions, right? And that's the thing I don't like with a lot of Caribbean people who come over here with big dreams. They forget where they're coming from and why they come over here because it's so hard. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's like you're going on a self development. It's like a whole self development journey where the more you learn about entrepreneur and how to sell to people, the more you learn about yourself. You know what I mean? It's a weird dichotomy. It's very weird in the sense that I'm gonna tell you truthfully, right? Yesterday I was chilling, right, figuring out where I can get some leads. Yeah, I write on my whiteboard. I write in my notebooks, right? It's because the thing is, right, when you're being artistic on your journey, right? It doesn't matter if you're cutting lawn. It doesn't really matter if you're painting, making music. It doesn't matter if you're making videos. It doesn't matter if you're a banker, accountant. It doesn't really matter. That's the artistic side where you know how to get the work done from point A to point B. But without the business side, like the artistic side is to get the job done, but the business side is how you get paid. And that's where I'm at. Like I know how to make a cool video. You know what I mean? I know how to make a nice campaign or to get you the result that you need, like views, engagement, or get your eyes in, get the content in front of people. But how am I gonna get paid if I don't know how to channel all of that artistic stuff into business? Because business is like a different language. Does that make sense? Business is how you present it. It's how you talk to communicate with people, right? And it's very weird. And when you get like in more into like learning the business side and having business structure, that's where the hard part come into play, right? And no, and me experiencing all of this can see why these people derail from their ambition because it's difficult, man. Like they think that they were gonna come here and do a 9 to 5 job, get paid $16 an hour. Yes, relatively it's more than what you'd be making back in the islands. It's relatively more, but at the same time, it's dramatically less when you compare it to other to things over here, right? Because the cost of living and stuff like that. So so what most island people tend to do now, right? They tend to live an average life, even most of the time, even below average, right? They live like a average life over here, and when it's time for them to go back to their country, they buy up a bunch of stuff just to go flex on their people back in the islands, right? And and stuff like that. I really don't. I despise stuff like that, right? If if you don't know this about me, you know this now, right? I despise people who tend to pretend to live a life that they're not living. They don't be real with themselves or they don't be real with the people around them. You know what I mean? And man, just y'all just don't try to be average. Just look into yourself, man. Like if you think you're fat, just go fix it. If you think you're ugly, work on that. You know what I mean? But there's just some things that you can't change about yourself. If you can't change it, then don't think about it. Just leave that alone. That's not something for you to change. You know what I mean? What you need, what if and most people ponder on stuff that they can't really change, right? And if there's some things that you can't change, the main thing you need is audacity, because all of this programming, all this problem that you have is learned. It's programming to you. They give you they First of all, when you're born, they give you a name, they give you a race, and they give you a religion. You get what I'm saying? They give you a culture. Say you're this type of people, this is how this type of people act, and this is how you need to act, right? And whenever you have the audacity to be different, to be confident, to step forward and say no, I want to be that instead, you're narcissistic. You get me? Like, so they kind of push you down into conformity where you have to conform with their societal ideals, if that makes sense, right? And so a lot of people forget how to be audacious, right? If you ever want, like, listen, if you're gonna start branding yourself online and you're not gonna be audacious, just don't do it, right? Because the number one rule to the game is audacity. You have to have, number one, you need audacity. Number two, you need a persona, right? And only way you can fully push a persona is to be audacious enough to be different, right? A persona is like you stepping into someone else, like an alter ego, to get the job done that you, the societal standard, the person who society labeled, can't do. You have to create your own character out of what you know, if that makes sense. It's a weird way of saying it. I hope you're getting what I'm saying, right? So yeah, learn to be audacious again, you know what I mean? And don't conform. So even now, right? So my goal is still to get rich, right? And like go back, right? And that's the thing too. Like I'm so crazy ambitious. I remember the first I've been in the US for like 4 years now, right? The first 2 years I got here, I run through 14 jobs, right? Wait, the first 2.5 years, I run through 14 jobs. The first 2.5 years I got here from the islands, right? And I realized that that's what come with being ambitious, right? Don't think that you're gonna be ambitious and don't have like a downside to it. There's a major downside to it. One, you're not gonna like to take talk from people. Two, you're not gonna like to follow orders. Three, you're gonna always want to do your own thing, and that's not how the world works, right? You can't go on a job and tell the people how you want to do their job. They hire you. They're your boss, right? And so you being audacious and being like very ambitious it's gonna this downside just like how there's pros. There are pros that you're gonna want more. You're gonna have the audacity to go get more. You're gonna go to the gym to get a above average physique, right? You're gonna get above average pay pay grade or stuff like that. You're gonna put yourself in places to get more, right? But there's a major downside to it if you're crazy ambitious. Because if you're crazy ambitious, you don't listen. You want to do things your way. You want to find things out the hard way because you don't listen. You're not ignorant. You're hard headed. That's what you is. You understand what I'm saying? You're not humble, but you're not mean. It's a weird middle ground, right? Because a lot of people who are humble, they're liars, right? Most people don't put themselves out there because they're so afraid of what people think. But if you ask them why don't they believe in themselves enough, they're gonna be like, it's because they're humble. Humble is a cop out word. They're just a bunch of cowards. Don't listen to them. They're like, oh, I'm humble. You know what the word humble means? Look at yourself in less importance, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't. Please don't. You listen. Perception is reality. Everyone want to manipulate your perception and tell you what to believe. Why don't you do it for yourself? Be delusional willfully. You get what I'm saying? Like have delusional confidence, bro. Like even let life prove itself to you. Like before you say you can do something, let something happen for you to say yes, I truly can do it. You get what I'm saying? Let them prove you wrong. But otherwise, from that, because it's like we were programmed to survive, right? And flourish. But one second, and flourish. But on a wide scale, we were programmed to survive. And that's why a lot of people get a 9 to 5 job because it's way more easier to survive that way because they don't want to go against the grain because it's unsure. When you go against authority, it's unsure what's going to happen. Yes, maybe you might go away scratch free, but maybe they're going to enforce their authority over you and punish you or inflict your danger, but your survival mechanism that's inside of you make you comply with authority. So so like so that's why a lot of people work into a 9 to 5 job. Like you start a business, you don't know how that's gonna end. Like statistics say 85% of business fails. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the closing rate of you becoming a successful entrepreneur is very slim, right? So with that said, like we were programmed to survive, so that's why we choose the the, the easy way out, right? So come back to like you being audacious and stuff, right? That's why a lot of people go to 9 to 5 job because it's way more easier for them to survive, right? So whenever you're gonna start a business, the first thing your mind say, like, cause remember, for you to grow, you have to change, and change is bad. Change is bad in survival sense. In that language, change is bad. Like when you're a caveman, right, and you see something new, it's bad because you're unsure what it is. We want to stick to what we know because what we know make us survive, make us keep living, right? And that's what it takes for you to grow. Because you have to change. You have to change your circumstances. You have to change your area that you're in. You have to change your circle. You have to change your people, and it's going to be uncomfortable because it's unknown what's gonna happen, right? And 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 I think most people who say they're humble don't like to change. It's like, because if you say, "I," for this is what happened, right? Let's say you say you're great. Now you have to, one, you have to prove that you're great. You can't just say it and just leave it at that. That's just an ignorant person, ignorant of the fact that you're not great. But but if you say you're great, now you have to justify it, right? Because the name of the game is get a big personality and work every day to justify that big personality, right? So so if you say you're the best basketball player, okay, cool, prove it. You get what I'm saying? Do how much laps do you, how much hoops do you need to shoot? What do you need to do? Who's the best right now? Who do you need to take out? Right? It's like a dog eat dog world in that sense, right? It's very, it's not, it's, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to be great, you can't, you have to come out of survival mode. We're not trying to live for tomorrow. We're trying to live like we're trying to die today so we can live tomorrow. It's a weird way of saying it, but it's more like a legacy thing. You understand what I'm saying? We're thinking long term, right? I don't care if I survive today. I want to make sure I give it my all today. My reputation lives on. Like they say, legend never die, because even though they're dead physically, we still talk about them, right? Like it's a weird way of looking at it, right? Because I'm gonna stop saying that. It's not weird. It's just that you guys are weird not looking at it like that, right? Because this world is run by dead men. All the books that we reading about history was written by a guy that is dead now, right? So the world itself is running by dead men. All the knowledge that we're getting about World War II, all those people are dead. And society, for how we know, society can like change around the words for how we know. But the world is written by dead men, right? And the point is, it's written by dead men. They're legend because they're dead, and we're still reading their information. We're still talking about their stuff. We're still taking their words for gospel. Does that make sense? Right? So legend don't die. So if you're in survival mode, you're living for tomorrow. You want to keep existing. But legend themselves want to die today and live tomorrow. So it's just that's an expression that you want to like give it your heart today, and your legacy lives on. Your name lives on through your kids, through the things that you have built in the world, right? And that's the great accomplishment of human. That's success. That's what we as human call true success. Everyone want to get a watered down version of success. Oh, success for me is when I'm chilling with my kids. No, everyone want to be remembered, or at least majority of people. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So with with that, I got nothing else to say. This is the end of this video. Have a nice day. Well, what's up?